Spring is here in the high desert, and it's nice and comfortable, nice temperature, although there's quite a breeze. I'm probably going to voice over all of this, and it's so tempting to come out and just start planting everything and getting it to grow because, hey, weather's wonderful. Yeah, that's not a good idea. We're at 5,200 feet altitude. Our last frost date is the very end of May. So, as much as I would love to come out and start planting, it's not going to happen yet. Today I'm outside. It's a beautiful day. It's probably going to get high 60s, maybe up to 70. So spring is here, but we can't start doing much outside other than I've been cleaning weeds up out here, doing that kind of work, because the weeds actually sprout in the fall. That's why they're so bad here. They live through the winter, and then as soon as it gets warm, they just explode. So that's what I've been working on outside. And I didn't bother showing you because it's really not much fun, but it's necessary for us for fire danger because we have this short green season and then everything dries up and gets brown. And when that happens, that grass, that dried weeds can burn so hot and fast that it can overtake you in no time. So we try and keep probably close to an acre area clear of the fuel. There's not much that's up close to the house. We do have that lilac, and it's probably going to get moved out because it's so close to the house. What I can do right now is I can start my seedlings inside. Finally, everybody's been doing this for a couple months, and I couldn't. As nice as it is out here, putting anything out right now is asking to lose it because our last frost date is basically the end of May. So that gives me about 6 weeks. I have some doors in the back of the house that they're French doors. A lot of light comes in, although it's north facing, they still get good light. And I have a cart that I'm going to put them on, and I have heat pads for seeds to keep them warm. So I'm going to do something a little different this year, mostly because of my cats, because my cats think plants are just the best toy ever and they destroy it. So I found these little seedling trays, and this is the bottom tray. This is where you actually plant your little seedlings. And then it has a top that's like a greenhouse, and you can pop this little circle on there to change how much moisture can be released and how much. So this is what it looks like. I'm hoping that they will survive my cats. The inside cats. The outside cats, my little smudge right here is wonderful, although he's playing with my tripod. But my inside cats destroy everything. So what I'm going to be doing today is planting mostly my tomatoes and peppers. And if you didn't see my video on my seed storage, I'm loving this. I can quickly see I've labeled them. These are photo storage boxes, but it works perfect for my seeds. The seed packages fit in there wonderful. I have it labeled with what's in there, and I can get my hands on what I want quickly, which I like. I don't have time, so. Today, the tomatoes I'm gonna plant, I'm not gonna do as many as last year. Last year was insane. I had I think almost 30 tomato plants, and they did wonderful. I don't need as many this year because I put up a lot of tomatoes. So I'm gonna plant some Abe Lincoln, and these are supposed to have good old-fashioned flavor for slicing or canning. Amish paste, and those will definitely be for canning. Classic beefsteak, these will just be for eating. Black Krim, and I did grow these last year and I really, really like them. They have wonderful flavor, they did well. So I'm gonna plant some of those again. And red and yellow brandywine, and those did well too, but I only had one of those and I wanted more this year. And this is, I don't know if I'm gonna say it right, Castelludo Genovese. And it's an old Italian favorite, kind of flat, ribbed, and best eaten fresh, but you can preserve them also. And this I'm just gonna try just because Baker Creek sent me some. It's white tomaso, and I don't know anything about it other than it says it's creamy, smooth, half-pound fruits and excellent yield. So I'll give it a try. And this is a long-term favorite, my Sun Gold cherry-sized tomatoes. They are so prolific, they are so sweet, and they produce most of the summer. I put them out early, I protected them with walls of water, and I had these till I pulled the plants. So really good, and so I'm looking forward to all of those. I haven't chosen all of my peppers yet. I know that I will have jalapenos, serranos, anchos. I just have to go through that and see what I'm gonna get. So with these little greenhouse things, they gave me a scoop, and I don't know if I'm gonna like it or not. It may be more trouble than it's worth, because this scoop might actually be easier. A little bit messy, but I don't care. That's why I'm doing it outside. And I did go for a good seed starting potting mixture. You don't want to use regular potting soil. You need it very light to give your seedlings the best chance. So you know, it's not as nice and neat as this little tool, but it gets the job done, I think, faster. Maybe a little bit. And these little greenhouse kits also came with markers, and the reason I'm using theirs is I think they're shorter so they'll fit inside the little top, which works for me. But what I did learn last year is that I marked all my plant markers with Sharpie, but within a month and a half you couldn't read them at all. So I bought some that withstand heat, and they're for wood, concrete, PVC, metal, and they are supposed to last. Water, fade, and smear resistant ink. So if you're going to use markers, especially these little plastic ones, I would really highly recommend getting some good Sharpies, because the others just didn't last, and by the end of the season, I knew what most were, but I didn't always remember the variety. So I think I'm going to start with my Amish paste. because I'm going to plant several of those. And I'm going to put at least a couple seeds in each one. I can always thin them later. Let's see, do I want more than that? No, I think 6 of those is probably a good number. And just gently cover those up. Now let's see. I think that I'm going to plant a couple of these Castelludo Genovese. I hope that's even close to pronouncing it. So I'm going to just continue planting my little tomatoes and we'll come back. So I decided not to plant any of these white tomaso seeds because I forgot I wanted to plant Roma tomatoes. And these are the Martino's Roma from Baker Creek. And I'm going to plant a number of those because those are what I like to can with. So did away with the other one. But I have 2 little flats that are now planted. And because I don't want to wash the seed away, I'm just going to spritz these to moisten them well. But I don't want to wash the seeds around, so once I do that, I'm going to put one of these little greenhouse covers on it. I'm going to pop the little green thing on so I can control the moisture. And then I will put these on my little rolling cart with the heated seed mat because they are definitely going to need some help at first. Our house stays pretty cool. It's part of the way it was built to be off-grid. You want it to either stay hot or stay cold depending on temperatures around you. And we have stone floors and a lot of insulation. So this will be their little home for a few weeks probably. Maybe less, depending on how fast they grow. If they grow quick enough, I'm going to transplant these into walls of water in the garden. So we'll just have to see how they do. Okay, time to select the peppers. And those I'm going to grow a lot of. I planted a lot last year, but I got mostly serranos, which are good, but I don't need as many of those. I really need a lot of jalapenos, mostly so I can make my Cowboys candy and my Cowboys candy brittle, because that was amazing. So I need a lot of jalapeno, and I have 3 different ones here. This one is from Brim Seed Company, and it's a hot jalapeno. Then I have this early jalapeno, and then I had seeds that I have collected from jalapenos. So I'm gonna plant all three kinds because whatever does best, I want a lot of jalapenos. I'm gonna plant some Anaheims. I really like those because they're not too hot and they give a lot of flavor, and I like cooking with them. I really like cooking with anchos or poblanos. I love making stuffed Mexican peppers, and you can do that keto, and they really are good. We stuffed them with chicken, and they were so good. Then I've got some New Mex Joe E. Parker, and this, I believe, is one of the Hatch green chilies. Now, they're never gonna taste like Hatch green chilies anywhere else because it's the soil and the weather that I think give it that flavor. But this is one of those varieties, and so I'm gonna plant some of those. A few serranos. Last year, there were a lot that were mismarked that I bought. Supposed to be jalapeno, they were serranos. I probably had 12 serrano pepper plants, way too many. They're spicy. And then this one, it's a chili padron, and it says it's the tapas pepper of Spain. One pepper will be hot, another not. So it's a surprise. So I'm gonna try a little bit of this too. So these, not so many. These are what I'm gonna really focus on. So time to start planting peppers. So I finished planting my little baby greenhouses, and this is all I'm gonna do for now. I've got 6 of them planted. I've got the peppers, tomatoes, peppers, more peppers, more tomatoes, and this one I planted some celeriac, which I love cooking with. It just has such an intense celery flavor, but it's like more like a root vegetable kind of, but it's just really good. I planted some cantaloupe and 1 cucamelon. So these are all gonna go on a heat mat, on a rolling cart, and like I said, they need a little bit more heat in my house. So we'll see how they do, and I will keep you updated. This small herd of antelope was just right next to the road, right in front of our property. And I love watching them, but they're one of those that if they get inside of our fence line, they will come eat my trees, my bushes, and all those things. So I love seeing them out here. I don't want them on my property.